Chapter 19. Be a Patriot. Set a good example of what America means for the generations to come. They will need it. Let us begin with what patriotism is not. It is not patriotic to dodge the draft and to mock war heroes and their families. It is not patriotic to discriminate against active duty members of the armed forces and one's companies, or to campaign to keep disabled veterans away from one's property. It is not patriotic to compare one's search for sexual partners in New York with the military service in Vietnam that one has dodged. It is not patriotic to avoid paying taxes, especially when American working families do pay. It is not patriotic to ask those working, tax-paying American families to finance one's own presidential campaign and then to spend their contributions in one's own companies. It is not patriotic to admire foreign dictators. It is not patriotic to cultivate a relationship with Muammar Gaddafi or to say that Bashar al-Assad and Vladimir Putin are superior leaders. It is not patriotic to call upon foreign leaders to intervene in American presidential elections. It is not patriotic to cite Russian propaganda at rallies. It is not patriotic to share an advisor with Russian oligarchs. It is not patriotic to appoint advisors with financial interests in Russian companies. It is not patriotic to appoint a national security advisor who likes to be called, quote, General Misha, end quote, nor to pardon him for his crimes. It is not patriotic when that pardoned official calls for martial law. It is not patriotic to refer to American soldiers as losers and suckers. It is not patriotic to take health care from families or to golf your way through a national epidemic in which 500,000 Americans die. It is not patriotic to try to sabotage an American election, nor to claim victory after defeat. It is not patriotic to try to end democracy. A nationalist encourages us to be our worst, and then tells us that we are the best. A nationalist might do all these things, but a nationalist is not a patriot. A nationalist, quote, although endlessly brooding on power, victory, defeat, and revenge, end quote, wrote Orwell, tends to be, quote, uninterested in what happens in the real world, end quote. Nationalism is relativist, since the only truth is the resentment we feel when we contemplate others. As the novelist Daniela Kiss put it, nationalism, quote, has no universal values, aesthetic or ethical. A patriot, by contrast, wants the nation to live up to its ideals, which means asking us to be our best selves. A patriot must be concerned with the real world, which is the only place where their country can be loved and sustained. A patriot has universal values, standards by which they judge their nation, always wishing it well and wishing that it would do better. Democracy failed in Europe in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, and it is failing not only in much of Europe, but in many parts of the world today. It is that history and experience that reveals to us the dark range of our possible futures. A nationalist will say that, quote, it can't happen here, end quote, which is the first step toward disaster. A patriot says that it could happen here, but that we will stop it.